Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna take you to our trip to Bonaire today.
So much fun.
It's gonna involve a taxi ride, and you're really gonna like it. And here we are in our taxi, and there's our nice little taxi cab driver. He was super cool.
He was born and raised on Bonaire.
Yeah, he was born and raised on Bonaire, so it really worked out nice. He took us here. Now here we're heading out to the Salt Flats, and this is kind of the area here as we're going out of town. You can see we're going around this little roundabout here and heading out of town. But I can tell you for myself, I really liked Bonaire because it seemed to have more character, just like Curacao. And we also noticed going out of town, we noticed a lot of new homes being built. So there's people moving into Bonaire. So if you've never heard of it and you're looking to go to the Caribbean to live, you might want to check out Bonaire and see what's going on there. But yeah, what were your impressions of Bonaire?
Quaint and charming, just like Curacao. Less commercialized than some of the other Caribbean islands, which I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the authentic feel of the islands. When you can capture that, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of beautiful things to see there. The Salt Flats were really amazing to check out. Got to see some flamingos, which was really cool.
Yeah, real pink flamingos.
Mm-hmm.
They were everywhere. There's a lot of little shrimps and stuff because they contain this water, and then they let the water evaporate out for the salt. But the coastline is beautiful, and something else that we noticed as we were traveling along the coast here was a lot of people are flying down there renting little pickup trucks and scuba gear. So you see people that have pulled off on the side of the road, and here's some of those new houses we were telling you about, but they seem to attract a lot of scuba divers down there. Mm-hmm. So
good snorkeling, apparently. We
Yep.
didn't snorkel, but we heard that it was good snorkeling there.
Yep. So next time we go there, I think we're just going to park it at the beach. We'll show you an upcoming segment here. But coming up onto the salt area here that's owned by Cargill. Was it Cargill?
Mm-hmm.
Cargill.
Yeah.
And there's one of the freighters loading salt. And those of you who don't know about salt, it's still a very valuable commodity, especially sea salt. Mm-hmm. Chemically, you can use it to make a lot of different types of chemicals and chemical additives that are used as preservatives and things, which I know a lot of people don't like preservatives, but hey, if you don't have them, your food would spoil. But you can see here, he's really nice. He pulls us off to the side here so we could check it out.
And some of you'll notice when you go to Bonaire, or if you check out Bonaire online, and you can kind of see it here. It's pink, where they have dammed off the water to get the salt, and the bacteria is what makes the water appear pink, and
Right.
It's really kind of cool to see.
Right. So here she was talking to the taxi driver, our tour guide, so to speak, and you see all these. There's a nice beach with some nice sand, and then as you come up from that, there is lots of remnants of coral, which was really smooth. You can see all of it down there on the ground. It's just everywhere. But
And a lot of beach area where you could go and spend the day and be alone, not see another person. As we were driving around, we noticed that, which was really cool. And that's where you see a lot of people scuba diving and snorkeling.
Mm-hmm.
They just pulled off to the side of the road and they're totally by themselves.
But look at that mound of salt.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's huge.
Very impressive to see.
So, yeah, it's a big operation there. It has been for hundreds of years.
They used to have slaves, I guess, that took care of getting the salt out.
Yeah.
And he took us around to the slave quarters and explained how all that
Yeah,
happened.
that's coming up here in the next segment. But I just couldn't get over that mountain of salt.
It's pretty amazing. This picture doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, it's just
How
crazy.
spectacular it really was.
Yep. So she's getting the go around with this guy on who's what and where's and how they make salt.
But you can really see the difference in the color of the water. One of the water was blue and the other was pink.
There you go. There's the entrance to the Cargill facility. and some sample salt that she did take a little piece. It's like crystal, like a big piece of crystal.
That's really cool.
So yeah, so it's pretty cool. Now there's one of those pickup trucks I was telling you about. That couple's come, and you see they got the gate down, so they're out snorkeling in the water somewhere, or scuba diving out in the water. And those are the slave quarters.
Yeah, all those little huts that you see were slave quarters at one time, and you talk about tiny, tight quarters. It was really something.
They just went in there to sleep
Yeah.
at night, so during the day they were working. So there's the inside, and a few shots here, and then some of the other ones up the beach were a different color. They belong to a different plantation, as it were, salt farm. And then why don't you tell them about what those, you'll see it here as we come around the corner, but our tour guide is explaining this stuff to us, and as we come around the corner here of this hut, you'll see an obelisk, an orange obelisk. So you tell them what the orange obelisk was.
I kind of forget. I think it was for the different types of salt.
Yes.
Different grades of salt. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes. And the ship captains would come by the island, and they would get out their spyglass, and they could see these pylons all around the island were different colors. And you say, I'm here to get orange grade salt, and he would park his ship or anchor his ship off the coast there. And this marker explains it. So there was white, there was red, there was orange. And then they would row their boats and load up salt and take it back, to Europe or even the Americas, the colonies in America. The salt ended up going all over the world, so it was a pretty thriving business. Here's those flamingos.
Oh, they were so fun to see. So pretty.
Yep. So, very unique place. It was the first time I have ever been there, and just the coastline is just amazing.
I guess what I really appreciated a lot was how you could explore and kind of be off to yourself and not in the middle of hordes of people, and it wasn't real touristy in these areas, which was really nice.
So this is like the windward side of the island where the wind really comes at it more, and you saw a lot of pounding waves up against the rocks, and it's more craggly rocks.
It was really windy that day.
You wouldn't see too many scuba divers on this side of the island. But lots of places to explore. When we first went to Cozumel for our honeymoon, almost 25 years ago, it was like this, where it was just, you would go we rented a scooter, and you could go for miles and just not see hardly anything, and that's kind of how Bonaire is. There's just lots of openness, undeveloped areas. There's some of the little windmills that they used as pumps to pump the water out of those holding areas, and they would let the salt, the water would evaporate and leave the salt.
Yeah.
So bicyclists, lots of bicyclers there.
People rented scooters.
Right.
There were bus tours.
You can see almost this volcanic type rock, very volcanic-y looking rock all along the shoreline.
Yeah, it's not a powdery beach line.
No. So, you see the wide open expanse. Everything off to that left side of the taxi is all salt mining going on, or salt cultivation. And then you can see the waves just going up onto the rocks there. And then up ahead in this next segment, we stumble onto an abandoned shrimp farm, he told us, where they would raise shrimp and harvest shrimp. It was pretty interesting. It was just literally abandoned, and the locals have just come and totally stripped it.
Well, it was taken out by a hurricane.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, it was taken out by a hurricane, and then they never rebuilt it. They just left it.
Right. Now, that does remind me, he was telling us some of the new homes where they were building some of these new homes. He said the next hurricane that comes through, or storm even, I don't think they get a lot of hurricanes here, but they do get storms, and he said those houses will be gone. They'll get washed away. So, old Jeep, we did see there was an area there at the main house behind us where it looks like the locals come, and local kids come and party.
Yeah.
And they had a little makeshift bar set up and stuff in there.
It was fun to explore this.
Yeah, so we were interested to see what it was. and he was kind enough to take us in and explain it to us. So, but yeah, you saw there in the background that little big windmill. You know, you got the Dutch there, so Dutch East Indies, so or West Indies. Now here's the little beach area. I think when we go there again, we're for sure gonna head straight here. It's kind of like a little shack on the beach that he took us to. I think he had a deal with his friends that if he would take tourists here. But you see those people from our boat also. But you can see it's actually really chill. They got some nice couches in here. They got a flat screen.
They had some food.
They had food. They had booze, of course. A nice little beach.
And parasailing. You can see in the background.
Windsurfing.
Windsurfing. Sorry, not parasailing. Windsurfing. That you could rent a windsurfer thing and.
A windsurfer thing. Carol. They actually have competitions here. You know, people come from all over the world to do windsurfing in this little like bay or cove area. There's a lot of consistent wind and the water's pretty flat. And he said they can get a lot of speed, so they have windsurfing competitions there. But this is kind of heading back to town. You can kind of see how like a lot of the locals live. We did see several of these places for sale. I think the one that I did see a price on, well, I think once we got into town, we saw some prices on houses posted, and the prices were very reasonable. I mean, not very expensive to live there. And like I said, that would be
for a small cottage.
Yeah, small.
Not one of the
those
swanky
big mansions,
condos.
but you know that's all you need is something small. You're not going to be in your house much. It's beautiful down there, mostly year round. So, you know, $150 or less for one of these nice little cottages. Very Spanish, you know, with the courtyards and stuff was really cool. So yeah, it's an impressive place. We're definitely looking forward to going there again. I would even like to fly there and stay for a week or two and just chill and explore the island and just hang out and relax, do some snorkeling and stuff.
The islanders are really friendly.
Yeah, everyone's very friendly. Here we are coming right back into town, and you can see it's kind of mixed use. They had like a government building. Here's your supermarket. You know, it's just got that Caribbean flavor. Some of the stuff's a little run down looking, but like I said, this doesn't seem as touristy. Seems more authentic. Authentic is the best word I can think of.
I agree.
And then we'll come back in. We found a nice little place to sit, and it was beautiful. The ocean there, I thought the water there is the most beautiful that we had seen out of the Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire. I think had the pretty beautiful water.
Yeah, it was. There it is.
Yeah,
spectacular.
I mean, we're coming into basically the port area. You had sailboaters pulling up, and they were snorkeling and swimming, and
this area was very touristy.
Yeah, this area is more touristy. This is more the shops. So as you come off the ship at the port, you kind of basically make a left. We'll show you here in another clip upcoming here when we do a little shopping. But this is the restaurant. He said he used to work at this restaurant, so we wanted to try it out. And again, the service was very, very slow. It's like you have to flag these people down just to get a drink.
They're on island time.
They're on island time, man. And you see that little yellow hut says water taxi. You take a water taxi. It wasn't very much, and you could just go and they'll take you for a ride. You don't have to necessarily get off at the next stop. But these are the little shops, so we'll get us a little gander of the downtown area here. So I'm surprised yesterday she had on a piece of her jewelry that.
I didn't even think about putting it on today.
But we'll show it. Here it comes up in another clip. They have a ton of this colored art glass that they mount in jewelry, and it is nice. There was an entire shop of it. I wasn't able to film in the shop, but I did get one of the stands. But you can see how chill the shopping area is. It's just really nice. There's lots of variety of shops here. There's not a gazillion jewelry stores and cheap sundresses. You know, they had stuff that you would actually buy because it was more practical, so to speak. Really impressed with it. I liked it a lot. So what was your thoughts on the shopping?
There it is. It's called Elements.
Elements.
That's
Yep.
The jewelry that I bought. It was nice. This downtown area was really upscale and really really nice place.
There's those cute little English ladies we sat next to, but you can see where we're sitting here, literally crystal clear water, and the little English ladies were like feeding the fish,
Pound cake.
Pound cake, right. Tortuga.
Rum cake,
Tortuga rum cake.
Yeah, it was funny.
So...
But it was such a chill place to sit.
If the service was better, I would have sat there longer, but we were getting frustrated because they just literally don't care. And that's where the little submarine boat comes up to the bar area. But we just decided to go back to the ship and grab a couple of drinks.
And food.
And more food because she didn't like the food that well. But here, as you come off the boat, you can see those nice yellow, it's like a little shopping area, like a little outdoor mall. And you just basically come through here and just take a left, and that'll take you down to the main town where all the shopping is. But it's the typical, duty free. All the upper ones they didn't really have anything in them. So these villas look really nice. This would be something I would eyeball to rent if we came back down here. So that would be really nice. And then just take a taxi to the beach, So you'll see some of the stalls here. This is what we gravitate towards because it's unique stuff.
The open air markets, I love them. I love meeting the artisans and talking to people who create things. I just think that that's really nice, and I love supporting them.
And you're directly supporting the people that make the jewelry and the pieces that you want to buy.
Yeah.
So this lady had a really nice selection of stuff too. And you'll see here in a little bit, I'll show you the cut glass, or it's basically art glass. Pinks and blues and yellows. The colors are just so vibrant. And very impressive. It's very, very nice. She bought a bracelet and a necklace?
Yeah, here it is right here. It's called Elements, and it's supposed to be, you can only get these pieces of jewelry in this area of the Caribbean.
Right.
And it's all handmade.
Yeah, we saw they had a back room where they're literally making the jewelry. In the main shop there on the drag that we saw earlier. So that blue just really stood out. It's got the blue with the turquoise green in it. It's really, really nice. A lot of chemistry involved with making that art glass too. So you see the lady there to the left, she's selling hot sauce. There's more of a close-up. Just earrings, necklaces, bracelets.
There's the hot sauce.
So you ladies, go straight for that Elements. It's amazing. Now this lady, that was like it was like glass and she painted on it or something, wasn't it?
I forget. It was all handmade, and she was really sweet too.
She was literally making pieces right there.
I think it was ceramic or something.
Yeah, ceramic, right? And it was hand painted.
Yeah.
And you can see she's got a piece that had a pink flamingo.
She had a lot of whimsical pieces, like he said, like with the pink flamingo, and some of them were flip flops and beachy themed.
Very cool, very
pendants.
unique. There's the fedora place where you can get fedoras.
Yeah.
Different kinds of fedoras.
And some artwork. Hats.
Nice and breezy, as it is all through that area. So it's nice and comfortable. Some more jewelry. And some of the jewelry that you bought down there, they mounted it in aluminum, which was kind of cool because aluminum won't rust.
Yeah, and I forget
and it's lightweight.
The name of that particular stone that's supposed to be you can only find it in Caribbean. I don't remember the name of it, but it was really pretty.
Yeah, so this is like the little square, and we're getting ready to wrap up the day. It's getting probably 3-ish, 4-ish, and I think this ship sailed at like 7:30 that night. No, earlier, because we're getting ready to sail right here. I think it was like 4:30 sail time. So here we are back at our room on our balcony, looking back at those shops, and we're actually currently, you can see the thrust. If you look at the water, you can see the thrust of the engines. We're literally pulling away from the dock right now on this little clip.
A sad moment.
Yeah, you hate to see the day go so quick, but
it's really cool. You need to visit it.
Right, Bonaire is a top pick for me anyway. So Thanks for coming along for the ride today, guys. I'm going to leave you with just a little excerpt here at the very end, how we spent our evening chilling, listening to a live band right before we went in to have our dinner. And of course, after dinner, we went to a nice show. So enjoy your cruising. Check it out if you haven't. And if you're getting ready to go in the Silhouette, I hope you have a great time.
Happy cruising.
In the next video, we're going to do a walkthrough of the boat. So stay tuned.
Thanks for
We'll
joining
see you next
us.
time. Ciao.
There's nothing to be certain in my life. Can you see that your love really changes?